I love cheese and biscuits. They're the perfect end to any kind of special meal or anything like that. You can buy cheese boards and platters and things, but making your own is always better.
Which is what we're going to do, some cheesy bites.
Yes.
So we've got plain flour, which we're going to rub into cold butter, like you would with pastry. Add the flavours of mustard powder, cayenne pepper and salt. Bit of texture and crunch comes from chopped walnuts. And then the cheesy part, blue Stilton and cheddar.
And me.
And you, evidently. Bind the whole thing together with an egg and a sprinkle of poppy seeds. Bake them off until they're golden and crispy, and they are delicious.
Sounds awesome.
So to start with, our pastry essentially. This is going to go in here, so that's plain flour. Perfect. And to that, we're going to add a few dried spices. So a pinch of mustard powder, a pinch of cayenne pepper, bit of heat in there.
Oh, nice.
And a generous pinch of salt. We don't actually need too much salt because later on our blue cheese is kind of quite salty as well. To that, you are going to rub in, as if you're making pastry, some cold butter. So I've diced up the perfect amount of butter. All these ingredients you need to get from the link below because they do need to be weighed out so this works. And if you can rub that together.
Yep. This is like making a crumble at this stage.
A crumble or a short crust pastry, anything like that. While you're doing that, I'm going to take some nuts. These are walnuts, walnut halves, already shelled. I'm just going to chop some of those up. And as soon as you're happy that that looks like breadcrumbs, which it pretty much does,
seems to be combined.
All of these nuts, which are about the same size as the breadcrumb kind of consistency, go in as well.
Lovely.
And then the cheesy part of our cheesy bites. Now, I don't want to sound cheap, but these are amazing gifts you give to friends using leftovers. So the little bit of cheese that's left over is actually perfect going here, because once you've grated it all in, no one will ever know. So grate up your blue cheese, about 50 grams you want in here.
But you could use a new piece if you wanted to.
Yeah,
You wouldn't tell your friends that you used offcuts to make their gifts.
They will never know. So that's probably about 50 grams in there. And these are just offcuts of cheese. We've got cheddar for strong flavour. Blue cheese in the form of Stilton.
You remember when you were a kid and you went round to someone's house for a dinner party, you'd have your dessert and then you'd run off and play, and the adults would stay and drink sherry or port and have some cheese and biscuits.
Yeah.
So what are we doing making grown-up stuff?
Well, some of us are, Jamie.
I'm married, it's fine.
For me, it's just an excuse for more food. When you finish dessert, there's no point in stopping there. And this is the kind of thing that if you're at like food festivals and food fairs, chutneys, homemade chutneys, great cheeses from local regions, stouts, ales, and these kind of things, they're perfect as gifts as well. So that's kind of why we're doing them. And look at that now, evenly combined. All we need to do is crack in an egg, or at least half an egg, just enough to bind it together. The other half we'll use in just a moment.
Right.
So pour in just enough egg, about half, to bind it together, and now you can get your fingers in and begin to press it together. Before, you were looking for just a light touch, just to get a crumbly consistency. Now you can start to sort of pack it together, and all that cheese begins to melt as well. Then we shape them into tiny little individual morsels. So you grab some and just do exactly the same.
These should really work in like a soup or something as well, wouldn't they? Like as croutons.
These are, the crouton size, so no reason why not. And if you are going around to someone's house for dinner or something, take a bottle of wine, but also a little box of homemade cheese bites.
Yeah.
As opposed to a box of chocolates or something. It's a nice end to the meal. Little egg wash, and then a dusting of poppy seeds.
I should get a bit of crunch in there as well.
And the colour. I love poppy seeds. They have that kind of almost bluey, grey, purpley, blacky kind of colour. You'll notice they're on a lined baking tray, so that they're easily removed later on. And then our poppy seeds, just a sprinkle on top of there. This is the kind of thing my parents would love. Homemade chutneys, flavoured or local ales, cheeses, and cheese bites, all boxed up together.
That would be really cool.
You often find like boxed up in like with straw and things around, don't you? That kind of thing in supermarkets or whatever. So.
And people appreciate it more as well if you've made it, don't they?
Well, you can see the effort we're going to here.
Yeah, it's not much.
It's enough to make a difference.
It is.
Right, they can go into an oven, which we've preheated at 190 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes until they're golden brown, and then take them out, let them cool on the tray for 5 minutes before removing them to a wire rack to cool completely before we wrap them. we go. Whether they form part of a cheese platter or a cheese board, or whether you wrap them up and put them in a jar with a lid so they're airtight as a gift, they're perfect. They'll last for a couple of weeks like that. Obviously they don't need a fridge, just keep them on the side, but they'll be perfect every time.
And they're not cheesy bites unless you've got a little wink and a nice smile. No?
No.
No? Well, if you're looking for loads more food gift ideas, make sure you wait to the end of the video to see some links out.
But these are our cheesy bites as food gifts, sorted.